Okay, so this is just a introduction to the Essentim lab. So the Essentim lab is intended for anyone who's doing things like cell culture or tissue culture, some sort of microbial experiment where you kind of got cell divisions going on, but the outcome of these experiments could be quite sensitive to the conditions under which the cell divisions were taking place, maybe cell expressions were taking place. So the intention of this device is an Internet of Things technology, and what I mean by that is the intention is that these are the scopes. So these scopes, you place them and they grip. So on the back side of them, they actually have these strips. So these grip something like the Petri dish, or the place where you're actually doing the cell culture or the cell tissue type experiment. In a pack, there's actually I've got 4 here. There's 5 of them, so I've got one of them in operation at the moment. So these devices are Bluetooth, and they continuously monitor the temperature, the relative humidity, the light, and I admit less useful, but the pressure as well, the air pressure. But so they monitor these 4 parameters, and they then communicate via Bluetooth to the base station. So this is the base station here. Now the base station, I'll do a second part of this video where I'll show you the software, but actually you communicate with the base station via Wi-Fi. So we have scopes, and in a pack, I'm showing 4 here. I've got a 5th one actually in operation at the moment, so it's not in the video. But you get 5 of these, and you get the base station, and each scope is monitoring something like a Petri dish maybe, and the intention is that you can, for like the battery life on these is something like 4 weeks. So you can end up, monitoring the conditions within an experiment or reaction over 4 weeks, and you'll get a continuous data log of the temperature, the pressure, the light, the relative humidity, and you can put alerts and alarms against those things. So the idea is, when you report an experiment, you could actually back it up with, with a continuous data stream as well, and you can download that into Excel and stuff like that. So what I'll do now is I'll go to the second part of the video where I'll show you the software. Okay, thanks very much. Hi, so the first part of this video I was showing the hardware, the base station, and then the Bluetooth scopes. I'm also now showing the software. Maybe before I show the software, I just did a quick search on sort of irreproducibility in biology, and there's definitely lots of discussion about this. And this is partly the problem that we're trying to solve through the Essentim labs, which is, if I can continually monitor at least some of the physical parameters around an experiment, like the temperature, the pressure, the humidity, the light exposure. If I can get a continuous data reading on that, will it allow me to publish and report and to repeat with greater certainty? So I've got an experiment running here, and it started, I think, about 48 hours ago. So I'll just sort of drag this back here. And what it's allowing me to do is it's allowing me to see timestamps, and the sensor's been running, and I can see temperature going along, it's all stable. I can also then see relative humidity. It's yellow, so it's hard for you to see, but unfortunately its brightness is also going along here as well. And I mean, I think this is less useful, but it's actually air pressure as well. It just kind of comes free with the device. So I'm going to close this down and sort of say, all right, well, the problem that we're trying to solve is this irreproducibility in biology. This is a nice piece of technology because actually it doesn't require it doesn't require software installations, etc. It's actually you just connect to it through the Wi-Fi, and I've connected it to the Wi-Fi. Then it's just like using a kind of click and drop website. It's basically a website that I'm looking at that's hosted on the local hub. So I have some experiments running here at the moment. Yeah, so I can see the temperature, I can see the relative humidity, the pressure, and the light. That's, and as I say again, it's it's graphing it all. There's reports, you can download the whole data file to Excel. So it does answer the question, if somebody sort of challenges and says, well, what were the conditions under which the cell culture, cell tissue were reported? You have effectively all the data. You put this next to the cell culture or the tissue culture, and it's completely, so it's Bluetooth, it's completely recording everything that's going on, and then you've got a data log of all that. So when you first start the software, you have a dashboard. It shows you kind of what experiments are running. I'm just going to start an experiment now. I'm just going to have a quick look at one of these devices. It's got a little number on the back of it. I basically just connected to it. It was that simple, and now I can see the status of this device. So in this room at the moment, it's actually quite warm. It's 22 degrees or 23 degrees C, let's say. It's actually a little bit humid as well. It's probably, I need to open a window, so it's 61% in here. It's fairly dark in terms of lux because it's not exactly a bright, and it's basically just reporting atmospheric pressure. And effectively then I can just start that, and now I've started the data log. So put that next to the experiment. It's on 100% battery at the moment. If I just close this down, and I can see where the battery life is. So it's this one here, so it's 100%. Whoops a daisy. It's 100%. I actually set it to run a month, which is fine. And it's just going to sit there recording the data for that month. So you can now move around with the experiment. Okay, so we did the hardware look at first of all, which is the first part of the video. I should have really started with, there is a problem sometimes in biology with reproducibility. At least if we can report all the conditions, that will help with people's understanding of what, some of the parameters that went into that experiment. And so this allows you to have lots of scopes or lots of sensors, let's say, next to the experiment, recording the temperature, the pressure, the humidity, the light, and then when you actually, when you want the data, you can just download it into an Excel file, etc., and then report it in the article as well. Okay, so please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at Zimmer & Peacock, and I hope that's interesting. Okay, thanks very much.